Hello, everyone. We're here because I can't find a decent plot summary of the first Macross arc that wasn't written by an enthusiast. As a guy who kind of watched half of the Amazon Prime release while falling asleep drunk once, I feel perfectly qualified, if a little obligated, to summarize the plot of Robotech up to the fourth chapter of this game. It kinda skips a whole arc because God forbid someone who didn't watch the show buy this video game. I guess now's also a reasonable time to clarify that I'm not a diehard fan of Robotech itself. I just think that the Veritech is fucking neato. I also think that Harmony Gold should get off their stupid legal horse and let the guys actually producing something of value distribute it to those of us who don't care to analyze how innately stupid an idea like a transforming robot space jet actually is. If you get anything out of my playthrough of Robotech Battlecry, I hope it's an urge to call your congressman and ask him why all the fighter jets we're buying for the military don't transform into sweet Gundams. So, Robotech is primarily a military drama. It handles a lot of serious things like fighting unwinnable wars, genocide, and how to balance your military career while dating a ditzy pop idol. That said, it's also an aging anime, so we're going to treat the plot with all the respect it deserves. We're going to overlap with the game's prologue for a bit here, so bear with me. So, for some reason, there was a war going on and it was real bad. Our protagonist, Jack Archer, fought in that war and thought it was real bad. Then one day, a giant alien spaceship made out of and filled with alien technology fell into space and scared everyone shitless. No, seriously, everyone on all sides of the fighting stopped for a minute and went, "Oh shit, aliens are all 40 feet tall and capable of interstellar flight in ships that are as big as some cities. We need to get our shit together." So, they sorta do. A city of scientists and hangers-ons develops surrounding the big spaceboat, and modern science gets to work doing science to the spaceboat. We name the spaceboat Macross. Long story short, we figure out alien tech and make sweet 40-foot-tall robots to fight the aliens at their own height. We also made them transform into sweet fighter planes, and the weird dude who huffed all the science glue decided they should also kinda go halvesies sometimes, I guess. Nobody stopped him right when those words came out of his mouth, but it ended up pretty sweet anyway, I guess. Anyway, one day the aliens show up, and they're like, "Give us our boat back," and the Earth is all, "No." This is where the game starts. We get to play as part of the "No." In the first level, the aliens proceed to use alien technology to get rough with the Earth, and the Macross nopes the fuck out into deep space via spaceboat teleporter. This is where the very large plot gap happens. The Macross crew pretty immediately realizes that the teleport thing was stupid, because now the teleporter is broken and the aliens are probably just gonna fly out there, so they start to fly back to Earth from, like, Jupiter or some shit. Additionally, when the Macross jumped, it took a big part of Macross City with it. Those poor rubes get moved inside of the Macross, and they try to go about their business as usual, by building a new city inside the spaceboat. It is a very big boat. The aliens, of course, follow shortly after to wreck Macross's shit and take back their boat. This leads to some sweet space fights between the Veritech fighters and alien mecha. Over the course of the trip, the 40-foot-tall aliens start mooching off of Macross City's cable and learn all about how the humans are tiny, frail, and addicted to art. You might think this is one of the jokes that I wrote, but the Robotech series on Amazon actually has them intercepting the Miss Macross pageant broadcast. Look it up. They don't understand it, but whatever. Actually, some of them do understand it, but whatever, nobody cares. If you think that's a dumb subplot, then I don't recommend you watch the later seasons. In exchange, the Earthlings learn that they're all idiots, and should probably have expected the aliens whose tech they stole in order to design giant robots would have their own giant robots, because the aliens totally do, and they are way bigger than 40 feet. They also learn that the Macross itself is a giant transforming robot that dumps dozens of citizens of Macross City into space every time it transforms. They do it about every 2 episodes, just for the giggles. Somehow, Macross makes it back to Earth without ejecting its entire populace, and we get back to what the game is talking about after level 2. The Earth government is like, "No! What are you doing? Don't bring that back here!" And Macross is like, "Where else do we take it? Jupiter? We did that once. It was a bad idea." The aliens, that still only understand war and violence, are officially fed up with our bullshit at this point, what with having made a big loop and have no transforming spaceboat to show for it. They call their friends over. Then they nuke the shit out of the planet. That's basically everything you missed between missions 3 and 4 of Battlecry. We can now move on with this LP stream thing. Informed, and still not giving half of a damn about what's going on to all the people involved.